Hi Lauren. Hey Sophie. Word of warning, I'm babysitting a child today, so no swearing. Ah, shoot. Didn't know you can do that. I'm a mother. I have my daughter Ophelia back in hell. Did you forget about it? I tend to. Is that the child? Yeah, just be careful. She's a demon like me.
What kind of demon?
Well, she's a regular human-like demon with horns and red skin.
Any other special powers?
No, it's just the horns and you should take note of it. Not my problem. Mind if I talk to the child? I'll be supervising you. Hey, kiddo!
Hi.
Oh no, don't pause the game. Continue playing it.
Oh, sorry.
What's your name?
I'm Rachel. And you are?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I have had many names in the past. Her name is Sophie. Hey, I'm having an identity crisis over here.
Don't worry about it. Nice to meet you.
I'm sure your parents were big fans of Friends, huh?
I guess so.
What you playing?
Portal.
Oh heck, that's older than you. How old are you?
I just turned 11 years old last week.
Yeah, that checks out. Look, I had a hunch she's one of those 1,000-year-old kids. Cut me some slack. So, little buddy, do you ever play Fortnite?
What's a fortnight?
How the... Excuse me, I just thought you played it since you're, well, a child in today's world.
Oh, I've heard of Fortnite. I just wanted to trick you. But I've never played it. My parents were wary of playing something with predatory features that would sabotage their finances.
They don't allow you to play something with microtransactions? That seems like an impossibility these days. Unless it's an indie game. Fall Guys exist. Darn. Well, your parents have better responsibilities at least. Were you bullied at school though?
Yes, unfortunately. But I don't want to talk about it.
It's mostly not what you think. Mind if I watch you play?
No, go ahead.
The Enrichment Center promises to always provide a safe testing environment.
Wait, we don't have a Series X. How's it running a 60 here? For the love of everything that's all holy, do not ever confuse the two! Valve had a reputation for picking up mods and making them as retail games, as well as hiring said modders and indie developers. For example, Team Fortress. It was originally a mod for Quake, developed by Robin Walker and John Cook, but Valve got interested enough that they hired the two and started developing its bombastic sequel, which took how much exactly? But to ease the way, they made TF Classic using the Gold Source engine. Then you have the mega blockbuster, Counter-Strike. Started as a tactical multiplayer mod for Half-Life, it became a standalone game when it got popular by 1.6. And because of that, it became one of the biggest blips in pop culture history, spawning the Source Engine version, Global Offensive, like millions of spin-offs for the Asian market, and its attempt as a single-player campaign. Also, Day of Defeat exists, but other than the retail release and the Source version of it, no one but a dedicated some care about it. But Valve doesn't just snag up mods and modders from time to time. You might have heard of Narbarcular Drop. If not, it's a free indie game by these students at Digipen in May 2005. It's about a little princess who got captured by a demon and has to escape the dungeon that is actually a sentient creature that can create portals inside them. It's pretty alright, though even as a free game, it's still short and hell-taken, but that is the point. The name of the game is the portal mechanics that got the attention of Robin Walker, still at Valve at the time, while he was attending the school's annual fair. He and the rest were so impressed by the game that the company hired them and helped them create Portal. Released on October 2007 on PC and the 360 via the Orange Box, it is not a remake of some 80s text adventure, but rather a first-person shooter of some variety, where the gameplay is the same, but use a gun instead of being friends with a sentient building. It later got an XBLA version with bonus levels based on its fan-made Flash game, and was then ported to the PS3 via the Orange Box. We don't talk about that. As well as the Nvidia Shield, whatever that is, and the Switch, along with a sequel. For now, let's focus on the first game, and darn it, that's the wrong game! Remember when Portal 2 had a unique menu system and music that weren't sort out of place in the cartoon? Here's the first game's main menu. It's a lot more clinical, shall I say. Let's just commence before it crawls into my skin more. So you start off by waking up from your bed in some cubicle room with windows for walls, hope no one snapped a photo of me sleeping nude, And then someone speaks to you.
Hello, and again, welcome to the Aperture Science Computer-Aided Enrichment Center. We hope
Something isn't right. Then they open the way for you by generating a portal. This is gonna be the main feature for the game, as I'll talk later. You learn the basics of the game. You grab stuff, put cubes on buttons, and on the second chamber you acquire the portal gun, which only shoots blue ones at the moment. You play as Shell. She looked different here. As you go through the 19 chambers of the enrichment center that the voice gives you, harder than the last. But before we dive into the gameplay, let's talk presentation. Yeah, from the looks of things, it's using assets from Half-Life 2, from the energy pulse to even the sound effects. Still, it has its own stuff, and the aesthetic is quite nice, if oppressive. It's so white yet unclean, having this liminal feel in these rooms. And hey, you can see your player model, animations and all. Ah, she has no shoes on, here comes the freaks. For 2007, it's not as special as Half-Life 2 when it comes to graphics, but the aesthetic is just on point. Sound is much like any typical Source Engine game between 2004 and 2008, lots of stock bytes and all that jazz. The portal gun sounds are quite neat though. As for voice acting, well, you have the voice from the intercom with a rather off inflection.
Well done. Remember, the Aperture Science Bring Your Daughter to Work Day is the perfect time to have her tested.
There is definitely a robot running the place, huh? She's perfectly acted by the one and only Elle McLean. With her voice made to sound as if she's singing. Makes sense since she's an opera singer, even if they manipulated with a sound editor. Not in an auto-tune way, just in a glitchy kind of way. Not only does she voice the voice you hear, she also played the round turrets, and frick, they sound so cute.
Deploying. Goodbye. Gotcha. Hibernating. Hello. Good night. I'm different.
Other than Faith No More's frontman Mike Penn voicing some angry ball, which got later reused for Left 4 Dead, that's about it for voice actors. It's mostly a one-woman show, so to speak, but god, her performance makes it so memorable. For music, it's just as foreboding as the graphical aesthetic. Other than 3 hardest songs, it's all ambience, sort of like Apex Twin in its early days. Take a listen to these and you know what I mean. Procedural jigabone is quite disturbing, not as much as Primordial Dream from SimCity 4, but it still gives off that uncomfortable sound. By the time I finish talking about the presentation, someone's already finished Portal in 6 minutes. If you've never played an FPS before, the game has a decency to teach you while you play it from the start. Movement feels like you're playing as Gordon Freeman before getting his HEV suit in Half-Life 2. You move slow and you can't run to combat any exploits involving it. Funnily enough, it runs on the same engine as that, the Source engine, which has Havoc physics built in, necessary for puzzles involving cubes and turrets. We'll get to that. However, the gameplay movement is tweaked so that you never get fall damage at all, just by how the tests are usually like. Oh, that is so sweet! It's also visually and subtly explained by you having these knee stills with you. For something that looks this flimsy, it works somehow. And now for the main attraction, the Portal Gun. This is, of course, a very useful tool with a unique at the time operation. As the name suggests, it makes portals. Well, one portal at first. The other portal is fixed by the voice in the first test chambers, and they're rather simple really. The first batch felt like a tutorial on a lot of things, like the energy pellet bits or the chamber about momentum. I really love chambers involving flinging yourself, it's just so fun to mess around and even try exploring it. But then you get hit with this, where you get an upgrade that chooses 2 portals. It has buttons that temporarily open doors, enough time to shoot a portal up there, and since you can only shoot one and the other one shoots another every 10 seconds, it's a matter of patience until you get the upgrade.
The device has been modified so that it can now manufacture 2 linked portals at once.
And there you go. I'm sure you did one of these party tricks the first time you got it. Don't lie. Hell, you even took off at least one camera with it. Maybe even tried taking off all of them for that achievement. This video is not sponsored. And now the tests get longer and more unique, like Chamber 14, where you get the cube from one side and divert a pellet from another. Or the next one, where there's these emancipation grills that fry some stuff and reset portals.
Please be advised that a noticeable taste of blood is not part of any test protocol, but is an unintended side effect of the Aperture Science Material Emancipation Grill, which may, in semi-rare cases, emancipate dental fillings, crowns, tooth enamel, and teeth.
Oh, you should have warned me beforehand! In a way, these test chambers remind me a lot of Trackmania Nations, the old one. It starts off short and simple, but as you progress, they become more interesting. Either that or really boring. But there's always a little thread that can make your time shorter, like how after the exit door in Chamber 13, there's a white wall you can shoot at. Or you can just fling yourself from this fall to the top of the victory lift. I suck at speedrunning, but it's still interesting to see them here, even if it's insane as heck. Darn, I hate when it happens. And then there's Chamber 16, where the voice has this to say.
Due to mandatory scheduled maintenance, the appropriate chamber for this testing sequence is currently unavailable. It has been replaced with a live fire course designed for military androids.
I sure hope she's not— Oh crap! It's serious! It's not for real loud! You can't attack them, but like the combined turrets in Half-Life 2, you can literally grab them and throw them off. Well, not like that, but you have a portal gun, you can let physics do the work. Oh, what's this? Ugh, that is so 2007.
Well done, Android. The Enrichment Center once again reminds you that Android Hell is a real place where you will be sent at the first sign of defiance.
Okay, something isn't right with the voice. She told me she won monitor a chamber, but after beating that she told me she was lying to me. Then she told me that one chamber is impossible to beat, when it isn't, and that vibe when she said I'll be missed after the test just sounds sus to me.
As part of a previously mentioned required test protocol, we can no longer lie to you. When the testing is over, you will be missed.
Oh, did I say sus? Screw you! Now she's just thrown me to a live fire exercise with stationary turrets. She wants me dead, doesn't she? Anyway, it's back to normal from 17 to the last one. Man, it's really short. You have this chamber where she gives you this companion cube that definitely doesn't do anything harmful to you.
The symptoms most commonly produced by Enrichment Center testing are superstition, perceiving inanimate objects as alive, and hallucinations. The Enrichment Center reminds you that the weighted companion cube will never threaten to stab you and, in fact, cannot speak.
Someone was off their meds. Anyway, you try to get these pellets through portals and reenacting a screensaver from a DVD player for one of them before it disappears and have to do it again. To lift these 3 platforms up, always carry a companion cube with you. For some reason, I don't have much attachment to it, it's just that the voices tell me to have feelings for it. There's probably a joke involving the morning of the Queen somewhere.
You did it. The weighted companion cube certainly brought you good luck. However, it cannot accompany you for the rest of the test and, unfortunately, must be euthanized. Please escort your companion cube to the Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator.
Okay.
You euthanized your faithful companion cube more quickly than any test subject on record. Congratulations.
If it's a teddy bear or any other animal plush, then I'll cry. Please, no! The second to last chamber involves getting that cube from a room with turrets you can knock down with pellets, as well as timer buttons and flinging yourself. This is just the first part of the chamber. The next one is where you fling yourself vertically, the platforms consecutively. Actually my favorite part, even if it can get frustrating for a bit. And now the last chamber, with this conundrum. You can either do the intended way of being patient and laying the pellet to the catcher to activate the platform, or you can trying not to do that. I went with the boring method and I'm done. Well, that was quick.
Congratulations. The test is now over. All Aperture technologies remain safely operational up to 4,000 degrees Kelvin. Best assured
Doc!
that there
It's
is
overloading their
absolutely
coding!
no chance.
Ah! Safety!
What are you doing? Stop it. We are pleased that you made it through the final challenge where we pretended we were going to murder you.
You think you could just run away from your lies without me snapping? I'm about to open a can of whoop ass off your motherboard once I reach your lair, son. And that's the bottom line. Because I suck at impersonating. So you make your escape to meet the voice that's been a nuisance since she lied about not monitoring you. I get it, you're so behind the times. This is pretty much an evaluation test, so use all the stuff you've learned from the chambers, as well as introducing a few new things, like this rocket turret that locks on you. Unlike the chamber, the parts behind the scenes are more rusty, more gritty, with pumps that squash you, not many white walls for you to shoot at, and this part with the turrets. Can you imagine doing the whole thing again after coming back to Chamber 9? Wouldn't that be a slog?
So you found me. Congratulations. Was it worth it?
Guys, I found the anonymous broad general manager! And there she is, a genetic life form and disk operating system, GLaDOS for short. At least I can call her by female pronouns since it's a robot with a conscience transferred in instead of a dumb cruise ship. It. Although something looks eerie about how she looks. If you look from the side, you see that GLaDOS looks a lot like...
Time out for a second. That wasn't supposed to happen. Do you see that thing that fell out of me? What is that? It's not the surprise. I've never seen it before.
Well, I don't know what it is either, so...
You are kidding me.
Did you just stuff that Aperture Science thing we don't know what it does into an Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator?
Yes!
That has got to be the dumbest thing that— Whoa.
Good news. I figured out what that thing you just incinerated did.
Oh no, she's hot! Yeah, it turned out I destroyed the morality core, installed the software from flooding the enrichment center with a deadly neurotoxin. Whoops. But heck, it's something about seductively sounding evil women in fiction that takes me nicely. It's just a shame that she's flooding the enrichment center with a deadly neurotoxin, and there's a rocket turret, which only makes things easier for me.
This isn't brave. It's murder. What did I ever do to you? The difference between us is that I can feel pain.
Oh shoot, she's right about me. Now you have to direct the rockets to her so that a quirky core drops for you to grab and incinerate 3 times. All she's about to pay remarks towards you, like how you're adopted, haha. And how she has a backup of your brain and friends to delete it if you don't stop.
Don't believe me? Here, I'll put you on. Hello! That's you. That's how dumb you sound.
I don't sound Irish.
Okay, enough. I deleted it. No matter what happens now, you're dead.
Permadeath! Ah! Son of a cussing cuss word, that core is levitating. Honestly, I expected worse. that was a pleasant evening. Time to start a new and...
Thank you for assuming the party aircraft submission position.
Wait, what? Hey, where are you taking me? Hey, help! Portal 2 got announced. Yeah, originally the game ended without the robot dragging you back before showing you that yes, there was a cake, there was a party, and the companion cube was there too, so she wasn't lying. Woo! But in the March 2010 patch, the ending got changed as a way of saying, yup, there's definitely gonna be a sequel to this. And it finally ends with Gladys singing Still Alive, a rather nice sounding song with sarcastic, passive aggressive lyrics.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here, huge success. It's hard to overstate my satisfaction.
So what, is that it? Portal is quite a fantastic game. The comedy is dark yet top-notch, the atmosphere was eerie, and the gameplay was a brain-teasing treat, even if you don't get to shoot at someone. Unless you open the console up, activate G's, and type Impulse 101. Hey, I got all the weapons from Half-Life 2! Somehow I got more attached to the tourist in the companion cube. Am I a monster? Pfft, not like I care. A major problem is that it's really short. I finished the main game in one sitting, one recording, in less than an hour and a half. Sure, $10 may not seem a lot, but it's still too much for it, unless you need it for Gmod. Oh great, now I sound like one of those dweebs using cost to error ratio, but not to worry, as the game is also shipped with additional challenges like doing testing less portal shot steps, whatever, as well as advanced versions of Chamber 13 through 18. One of them having the torch locked in these cages. Good luck disabling them, smarty pants! But if you want more, there's always a flash map pack you can download, as well as more levels on sites like Game Banana. And of course, there is the sequel released in April 2011, after a series of ARGs and videos from CEO Cave Johnson.
Chariots! Alright, get to it.
It further expands the concept as well as adding more, like a bigger plot, a co-op mode centered from the main story, and an interactive teaser from some J.J. Abrams flick. I'm sure most people played this part that they've actually watched the movie. Oh, and after an update, you can make your own chambers without jumping into a hammer, so that's another point to my track minute comparison added. Though the thing about Portal 2 is how different it looks, not like Quake 1 and 2 or even Half-Life 1 and 2. No, in this game, you revisit the first chambers of the game, just dilapidated this time, and aside from the overgrown stuff, it looks so different. The cubes, the doors, the elevators, the portal gun stays the same, but for Pete's sakes, even Gladys looks different from the first game. You think I forget that? You think no one will point out the inconsistency of this crap? Other than that though, it's a very fun game. But don't skip on the first game. I really recommend playing Portal 1. It's cheap and tends to go on sale for a lot less, so go get it if you haven't been bothered by me spoiling it.
And when you're dead, I will be still alive. Still alive. Still alive.
And by the time I finish this review, someone has finished Portal without glitches in 16 minutes. Thank you so much, and you're welcome. As a mother, taking care of her is my top priority.
Good night, Ashy.
Good night, little one. Ashy, what a nice nickname. Hey, Gordon. I was thinking of dyeing my hair back to black. Are you okay with it, or do you want me to stick with blonde?
To tell you my honest opinion, I prefer your brunette look, ever since I first saw you back in Nunavut.
Glad we have the same opinion. Hey, is this the wrong time to talk to Sophie? Not really. Spill. Okay then, so while I was out of the house yesterday, I saw a great bar that accepts the supernatural. It's situated in West Philly. Ooh, nice. Do they have a task bulletin board like a Synopsis or Vancouver? There sure is. A lot of hard stuff, it seems, but there's a few that'll warm you up. Well, good. If this maid job stops working out, I better take a look there. When you come back, tell them Sofia Pavlova said hi. They'll probably know.